Hi guys, it is Tuesday, the day before Thanksgiving. It's the 23rd, and I have something really exciting to share with you guys. So yesterday I was doing what I always do. I watch television while I work, and I was scrolling through channels to see what I wanted to watch while I was grooming dogs, and there was a Christmas movie on. So I was like, oh, I love Christmas movies. I'll just put this on. And it was a Christmas movie about a woman who owns a reindeer farm. And of course, they're getting ready to foreclose on it and all this stuff. And I wasn't real interested in the story. I wasn't real interested in the characters. But I was really interested in those reindeer. So I stopped grooming and I got on the computer and I started looking for reindeer farms. And I texted my bestie and she's like, oh my God, there's a reindeer farm right in Colorado. And she gave me their information and I looked them up and I called and talked to the guy for about 30 minutes. After I got off the phone with him, I texted Honey and I said, do you remember how you said I could have outdoor pets as long as I took care of them? And he said, yeah, what are you thinking? And I said, for my birthday, which is on Friday, I would like reindeer. And he said, LMAO, okay. And then a little while later, he said, send me pictures. So I sent him pictures. And I told him to call me when he got a chance, because I told the guy at the reindeer farm that we were interested in having a pet. And he informed me that reindeer cannot live alone. They have to have a companion. Sorry for the barking. So that would require 2 reindeer, or it would require a reindeer and potentially an alpaca or a llama. He named off a couple of other animals that would be suitable companions, but not goats or sheep, which I wouldn't want anyway. And I told him, I said, I really don't want an alpaca or a llama, so maybe 2 reindeer. So he said, well, are you aware of the cost of these animals? And I said, I'm sure it's about like buying a horse. And he said, actually, it's quite a bit more than buying a horse. He said maintenance and upkeep is about, similar to a horse, but not the actual purchase. So he proceeded to tell me that male, what they call steers, which is a surgically altered male, give them the old and those are the least expensive. They run, he said last year they were about $8,000 each, and the price has really gone up. You're looking more like $9,000 or $10,000 each. And I was like, oh, we probably couldn't afford 2. And he said, well, then you'd have to go back to the alpaca or llama companion. And I said, well, how do you know how expensive those are? He says, oh, you can get an alpaca all day long for a couple $100. And I was like, yeah, but gosh, do I want to look at an alpaca? I don't. So he said, where do you live? And I said, oh, we live in Evergreen. He was like, oh, Evergreen, that's perfect. And I said, well, we don't live in Lower Evergreen. We live in Upper Evergreen at 9,200 foot elevation. I'll be back. Okay, that was wasted. We get so many wasted calls that are like, oh, just ridiculous. I guess it comes with getting a new phone number. Anyway, so I kind of forgot where I was at. Oh, getting an alpaca or whatever. I said, no. I said, I really don't want to look at that. So he said, well, you could get 2 geldings. And he said, and being where you're located. Oh, he did say even better that we were up high in the mountains. He said they will love it there. I said, okay. I said, so we have about an acre fenced. I said, but we own about 2.5 acres. And he goes, well, you really only need about an acre for 2 reindeer. So that's not a problem. He said, what kind of fence do you have? I said, we have a 6-foot deer fence. He goes, that's fine. And then I let him know that we do have mountain lions. He said, okay, well, what I would do is I would extend your 6-foot fence to an 8-foot fence. And you can use your existing fence. We can show you how to do it. I told him, I said, we already have barbed wire. He was like, barbed wire would be even better. He said, your reindeer can't really jump more than 4 feet. So your fence is fine for your reindeer, but it's not fine for your predators, because your predators can jump a 6-foot fence. He said, you may even have wild deer that would be interested in your reindeer and would jump your fence just to meet your reindeer, which would be weird. How do you get them out? Anyway, so much to figure out. First thing I have to figure out, because in some cases they are considered exotic animals, is if our county will allow us to have them. So yesterday, our journey began to thinking about this. And both of us are super pumped. I mean, we talked about it all night. As a matter of fact, I think we talked about it till we fell asleep. And then we started talking about it when we woke up, and we watched videos last night, and we were so excited. So the other thing that the guy at the reindeer farm told me was that theirs is a business. They breed them and they rent them out for events. He's like garden centers and he said we don't have a tree farm, so tree farms, churches, all kinds of people, corporate events, all kinds of different things. I mean, my brain immediately went to antique malls. Can you imagine an antique mall on a Saturday or a Sunday having a day where you can come meet the reindeer and shop? Oh, that's where my brain went. But anyway, he said that they write off their entire property, their house, their everything, because they run that business on the land. I doubt we could have more than 2. I doubt it, because I think that the rules up here are you can have 2 horses, or you can have 2 cows, 2 sheep, two. I don't think there's any regulation on how many chickens, but you can have livestock animals here. So I'm just hoping that because they're could be considered exotic animals, that we would be allowed. So I'm going to do that research this morning. As soon as the time allows for the Department of Agriculture to be open, because it is now 7:42 and they probably don't open until 9. But I was so excited. I wanted to share this new journey with you because it's part of our mountain life living. And Honey was like, you're an early bird. So if you got up in the morning and you took care of their, feeding them and take care of their morning needs, he said, I'm a night person. I'll take care of them at night. And, let me go back. Let me tell you something else. So the guy that I talked to, and he was so nice and so informative. He said, well, if you're up in Evergreen and you have a couple of reindeer, he said, we'd be happy to refer anybody that calls us from the mountains to refer them to you guys. And we charge $1,000 an hour to bring our reindeer to their event. And he said, so far this year, we've turned down 90 events. He says, we've got a ton of bookings. We have a few appointments left, but they didn't work out with the times these other events were happening. And so we could have referred them to you. What? We were like, okay, tax breaks and make money? He said, you can make from $5,000 to $7,000 a day, depending where the events are located. And we would need a livestock trailer, which livestock trailers are really inexpensive, especially for 2 reindeer, because they're small. They're not the size of a horse. So we could probably get a livestock trailer for $1,500. And Blake wants to buy our cargo trailer, so we could sell our cargo trailer and buy that. We'd have to buy the portable pen for when we get them to the event. And looked into feeding. The gentleman told me it was about $2,500 per animal per year. So about $5,000 a year to feed 2 reindeer. 5,000 divided by 12. So about $420-ish a month to feed them. Honey is perfectly excited to build them a barn, because they would need a barn at night. So that would be on the agenda. Babies are born in April and May. So I didn't ask him how old they have to be to leave their mamas. But it would be sometime in the summer, I'm pretty sure, before we would get our reindeer. So that gives us adequate time to prepare the property. And they basically they could drink from the waterfall and the pond, and we would just probably do some kind of a fence expansion and put their barn in. I am so stoked. I cannot even tell you. I've already named one of them, but I'm not going to tell you. They would be 2 males, because let me tell you. Remember I told you that he said they had been about 8,000 last year, but they've gone up, and you're probably looking around 9,000 to 10,000 for a male that's been, I don't know what they call it. In dogs, it's called neutered. But he said females run between 15,000 and 20,000 that are intact, that you can breed. So I was like, can't afford that. But it's an investment. It's a write-off if we start this little business. And he said that, I mean, at $5,000 to $7,000 a day, I told Honey, I said, even if we just did the weekends. And he said it's about a 6-week window that people want to hire your reindeer. 6 weekends at $10,000 a weekend is $60,000. I told him that's more money, way more money than I make grooming dogs. I could just not groom dogs during the holidays, and I could take the reindeer. He's like, you're going to have to learn to pull a trailer. And I was like, I could totally. I mean, I pulled a camper trailer before, so I could probably pull a livestock trailer. And Blake's girlfriend is a horse person, so she can help me with stuff, and she's excited. I talked to her, and anyway, that's the story of yesterday. So I hope that you're excited. I hope that I get good answers from Department of Agriculture, and if I don't, I'll be coming back with a sad video. But yeah, I wouldn't want goats or sheep or pigs. I kind of want chickens, but I'm not super excited about chickens like I am about reindeer. But I mean, we could even have where people could come up to our property just to visit the reindeer and charge for that. Honey was like, I could build a sleigh and we could take people for sleigh rides with the reindeer. I mean, that probably isn't something we would do right now, in the next year or two. Because we both still have full-time jobs. But this could turn into the most incredible retirement. because we can make enough money just during the holidays to take care of our needs for the whole year. So anyway, you have got to comment and tell me what you think. So I could just imagine, I'm like sitting here looking at my window right now, and I'm like, I could just imagine like a reindeer walking by, drinking out of the pond, because I could see the pond and I could see the waterfall, and I can just imagine the reindeer just there. All right. Tell me what you think. I'm going to shut up now. Thanks for watching. Have a very happy Thanksgiving, and I hope I don't have to come back with a sad video. Talk to you guys later. Bye.